Welcome back to Meg's Mysteries. This story's called Words Can Kill. Dana Dishes the Dirt, the new gossip column, hit the paper. It was a huge success, but this time it got more attention because the dirt led to a real murder. She was being interviewed on the radio, and all were tuning in. The real murder of the Ice Queen, Elka Stevens, and her new Latin lover, Carlos Mantango. Diana's column featured her and her new lover, and now he's dead, and Elka is accused of his murder. What's the connection? Was this just a coincidence? That's the question everyone's asking, especially since a new murder has just happened a week later. And it just so happens the murder victim is her latest dirt report victim. Dr. Feelgood, she called him. His real name was Robin Meso, and he supplied Wealthy with shots and pills. He was murdered. 2 weeks later, her next dirt victim, Senator Grayson, who she reported was stepping out with a mob boss's girl. Stella was her name, and Giovanni Costa was not happy when he heard the news. So they were both murdered, also connected to her gossip column. Now her column is taking off because of all the interest in the murders of her latest gossip reports. She's now top gossip columnist around, and she's wanted by live radio and TV and big newspapers. She drives her assistant crazy, making him work harder than ever to get more juicy information for her reports. He's the brains and gets all the dirt she reports on. He'll do anything for her, anything. And he was with her from the beginning, always supporting her and her crazy schemes to get to the top. So I was asked to help out. I'm Vic Monroe, a retired police officer, now private eye. I work with the police on some unsolved cases when they need me. And boy, do they need any help I can give them now. More victims and no clues. Now another victim, also her dirt victim, as we are now calling them. The third one connected to her column. A singer, Shirley Mays, and a bank executive, William Manns. Both were found murdered. He was cheating on a wealthy wife, and Diana was the one who dished the dirt on the both of them. It all came out in her latest column. He was found dead in a hotel with the singer a week later after the story was released. So is Diana, or someone she dished the dirt on, killing them all? To get even with her, or is she doing the killings? Is she responsible? Maybe trying to boost her career? Or is it someone trying to frame her for the murders? Did she step on the wrong toes with one of her reports? She does have some enemies. One is her rival, Tony on the Town, another gossip columnist, her arch enemy, always trying to compete with her and get to the top, to be the number one gossip columnist around, and take her place with radio, TV, and newspapers. They're trying to outdo each other every day. And now she has top billing with the radio station and all the big newspapers and the TV. He could be jealous. And is he making him doing the killings and putting the blame on her? Could be. Her assistant, Billings, who'll do anything for her. Maybe he's killing them to make her column more successful and put her on the top. Or is it a coincidence between victims and her reports? So I have to check everything out. No one has a clue. I got my work cut out for me with this case. All I can say is she's connected somehow. But how? The first murder happened 2 days after her report went out. The Ice Queen, Elka Stevens, had 4 husbands and was looking for the 5th. Her newest Latin lover, Carlos Mantango. She found out he was only after her money. So she shot him. But did she? She was found unconscious near the body, drugged. But did she do it and drug herself for an alibi? Or did someone else do it and set her up? And with all those ex-husbands, it could be any one of them. Diana reported about her and Carlos. Maybe one of the ex-husbands did it. She had bled them all dry with alimony. Maybe it was revenge. The second murder was Dr. Feelgood, as she called him in the report. Dr. Robin Maso. He supplied wealthy people with shots of happy juice and pills. I looked into him and found out he even gave a young girl some pills that killed her. Maybe the family took revenge after hearing Diana's gossip report and put two and two together. She had the report of his unhealthy practices and drugs he gave out. He wasn't even a real doctor. The third victim, State Senator Grayson, who was running for governor. He was next on the hot seat in her Dish the Dirt report. She found out he was seeing the mob boss's girlfriend, Stella, and Costa was not happy. He found out they were cheating with the senator. They were both found dead in a motel room, both shot in the head. Did the boss take them out after he heard the report? They were both found murdered 2 weeks after it came out. What a coincidence. The latest victims, a bank executive, William Mans, and Shirley, a singer. He was cheating on her from his wealthy wife. Guess who spilled the beans? You guessed it. Diana dishes the dirt. Did the wife put a hit on him after finding out from the report? So now, how do we solve these cases? Hopefully someone will mess up and get sloppy, or leave some clues. As of now, we have nothing. I tracked down all the leads and followed her column in the next report. We can't let her know she's a suspect. Her assistant does all the legwork. He's the real brains and gets all the dirt for her reports. She's just a face on the column, a celebrity for the TV, radio, and papers. But he'll do anything for her at any time. I noticed him looking at her with those puppy dog eyes. He's in love with her. And he'll protect her, but at what cost? Next on the list of suspects, Tony on the town. He sat in the interview room with me and the other detectives. He had a smirk on his face. All the while we talked about the murders. He wasn't nervous at all. He said, "You know, Diana really can dish out some dirt." They were all her victims first. Then he just sat there and smiled. Not that I'm pointing figures at her, but get real. They're all dead, aren't they? He's a real piece of work, and he didn't hide the fact that he hated her. Diana's interview. She was cool as a cucumber. I only report the truth. It's not my fault they get what they deserved. Cheaters, liars. They make the big-time news. My gossip reports tell the truth. People love a good dirt story. I think it could be one of my fans. Maybe they love me, and they're trying to help me get up top. She had no remorse about any of the murder's victims. She was happy about the attention and that it was giving her column and her career such a boost. So now I'm keeping a close eye on her new report. It was on a health guru, Dr. Marley. Not a real doctor, but a sleazy salesman who catered to lonely women and men. He took their money with his foolish promise to make them young again and connect them with hope of love connections. Diana will get the dirt on him and dish it all out in her next report. I got a copy of some of her notes. Don't ask me how, but I'll be following her as she digs up the dirt. Her plan is to get inside his operation firsthand, find out how he operates, and then she'll take him down in her report. She will close the whole operation down. I managed to get a security job at the Good Doctor's health spa, just to keep an eye on him. I think he may be the next target. Guess who showed up all in disguise and checked in? Yes, Diana herself. Also her trusty assistant, both checked in separately, of course. I guess to get the real dirt on the doctor, or to get close to him. I also spied a face I've seen before. The doorman at her apartment complex. He had a face you couldn't forget, old and haggard, like he had a lot of bad, hard times. I wondered how he could afford the spa, and what was he doing here, too. This case was getting crazier and crazier. I followed each of them. Of course, the assistant was always around, so that made it easy to keep an eye on both of them. But I noticed the doorman close by, everywhere she went. He was also getting close to the doctor, asking him all kinds of questions. After a couple nights there, I finally caught the killer in the act, sneaking into the doctor's private apartment. I caught the killer before they can kill the doctor. So who do you think it was? Diana, the assistant, a fan, or Tony on the town? No, you'll never guess, and you'll never guess the reason why. It surprised us all. The doorman of the building, who came to find out was her college boyfriend. He was rich and going places, and she used him and his money to get her first big break. She did a dirty report on him and his family. He lost everything. She dumped him, and he went downhill from there. So he blamed her for all his bad luck. And when she became famous, he got a job in her building. She didn't even recognize him when he tried to talk to her. She put her nose up and just ignored him. He was only a doorman. She passed by as she went in and out every day. He was a nobody. So was he getting revenge on her by framing her for the murders? He made a victims list of all her dirt victims, followed them, and killed them. He would set her up to take the blame for it all. All he said was, "I'm not the only one. She better watch her back. Someday someone will put her down." When she found out, she laughed and said, "I guess he was still helping my career. It has taken off, and I'm in the big leagues now. I'm the top gossip columnist, a real celebrity. I didn't even notice him. He looked so average." So did you guess the killer? So with case closed, I'll be watching out for some dirt someone will be digging up on her. Karma, my friend, gets you in the end. Until next time on Meg's Mysteries, come back for more.